Welcome to our Proverb a Day devotion, focusing today on Proverbs 21. Have you ever wondered what is actually pleasing to God, or how to go about living a life that is acceptable to Him? This proverb gives us some keystones to use in answering these questions. The chapter opens with the fact that God knows our innermost thoughts. Check out verse 2. We all think we know the right way, but the Lord is the one who truly decides what is right. He weighs our thoughts to determine their worthiness. With that in mind, when this chapter mentions living a life of righteousness, kindness, justice, and generosity, we will want to engage in those things that we may live a life pleasing to the Lord. One that brings honor to Him, but also creates better outcomes for us than we would be able to do on our own. It is key that we do these things for the right reasons and with the right heart. Acting with the wrong motivation, like arrogance instead of humility, or selfishness instead of true worship, is no better than not acting at all. Verse 3 states that God is pleased when we do righteousness and justice, and He is. But in the next few verses, He condemns haughtiness and pride as sin, so those can't be part of our motivation for obedience. The first half of this chapter elevates wisdom's value and warns us against sin and its devastating consequences. The second half of the chapter points out how powerful God's wisdom is in our lives, if we will embrace godliness and truly live in His power according to His plans. The insights of these verses, though, don't make us invincible. We still fall down sometimes. Solomon wisely reminds us that we cannot simply wash away our sinfulness or our wrong choices by living sacrificially or through committing acts of service. But if we acknowledge that God knows best and humbly practice righteousness, justice, kindness, and generosity through right motivation, then we can live in the power of verse 31 and share in the victory that can only come from the Lord. Why don't you go read this chapter one more time and make a note of 2 or 3 things you can apply to your life today?